Hi, boys and girls. It's me, Mrs. Freeman. I want to talk to you this week a little bit about what exactly I do as a school counselor and how I can help you throughout the year. I'm here to help you be the best student that you can be. That means I can help you with any problems that you might be having at school or at home. I can help you with friendships. We can talk about different ways to learn and how to best remember information and keep it in your brain when you learn it. We can talk together about what jobs you might like to do and lots of other things. I'll have small groups. I'll meet with kids one on one in my Zoom room. And sometimes I'll do videos with your whole class, just like the one that you're seeing today. Your class lessons will always be in the resource counseling folder in Schoology. So you'll be able to see those videos every Monday, which is really fun. Today, I want to share a book that I love with you called Mrs. Joyce Gives the Best High Fives. Mrs. Joyce Gives the Best High Fives talks all about what school counselors do and about how Mrs. Joyce helps her students. Some of the ways that she helps her students are also things that I could do with you. So follow along with this book and let's see how I can help you this school year. Mrs. Joyce Gives the Best High Fives. It was finally the first day of school, and Anita couldn't wait. All of her friends would be there, and she had a new teacher to meet. The front door of Emerson Elementary School opened, revealing her favorite person at school, the school counselor. Mrs. Joyce smiled and high-fived Anita. Mrs. Joyce gave the best high fives. Good morning, Anita. It's wonderful to see you. How was your summer? Excitedly, Anita replied, Good morning, Mrs. Joyce. My summer was totally amazing. I spent most of it at my grandparents' farm. They taught me how to ride horses and fish and swim. We went to the lake almost every day. Just then, a group of boys came running up to high five Mrs. Joyce, too. Welcome back, Brad and Charles. Your backpacks are almost as big as you are, she teased. And who's this? This is Raymond. He's my new neighbor, Brad explained. Hello, Raymond. My name is Mrs. Joyce, and I'm the school counselor. It's nice to meet you. Hi, it's nice to meet you too, Raymond replied shyly. As the boys walked into the building, Raymond asked, What exactly does a school counselor do? Brad began. Well, school counselors help you with lots of things. I visited with her last year when my parents separated. It was really hard on me, but Mrs. Joyce talked with me and helped me better understand why some people get divorced. Did your parents find out what you talked about? No, Mrs. Joyce didn't tell anyone. She's a school counselor, so she doesn't tell anyone what you talk about. That's called confidentiality. Unless you're being hurt or you're trying to hurt someone else. Then she'll tell someone who can help you. Mrs. Joyce helped me too, said Charles. I used to get so anxious before tests that I couldn't think straight. Mrs. Joyce taught me ways to relax and get prepared for tests, and now they're way easier. Later that week, Mrs. Bright, Raymond's teacher, handed him a counseling pass. Mrs. Joyce would like to visit with you and see how you're doing. Raymond felt a little nervous as he walked into the counselor's office, but as he looked around at the room, at the colorful posters and drawings, he began to relax. Raymond, it's great to see you again. How's your first week going? I like it so far. My teacher's really nice, and Brad's in my class. Wonderful, exclaimed Mrs. Joyce. I'm glad to hear you're both together. Looking around, Raymond noticed the sign. That sounds like something I've heard before, he declared, pointing to the poster. What's said here stays here. What does that mean? It means I won't tell anyone what I talk about. It's private, and that's called confidentiality. Oh, I remember Brad saying something about that earlier. He and Charles told me some of the ways that you've helped them. Yeah, I'm here to help all my students. Sometimes we talk about feelings and making good choices or setting goals. I help each student become their own problem solver. My own problem solver? You bet. Once you learn how to solve your problems, you are closer to being the best you that you can be. Raymond thought for a moment. If I have a problem and want to talk with you, how do I let you know? Easy. You fill out the I need to see the counselor form. Or you can tell your teacher and she can let me know. Or you can tell your parents or your learning coach and they can let me know. Would you ever visit with my parents? Sure. I work with parents and teachers. We're partners in your education, and we want you to be successful at school and at home. Raymond nodded. Sometimes it's hard for me to make friends. Is that something you help students with? Absolutely. In fact, I have a friendship group that starts next week. We'll talk about what friendship is and discover ways to make and keep friends. Is that something you might be interested in? Raymond shrugged. Will the other kids make fun of me and tell everyone I don't have any friends? Oh no. Whatever anyone talks about stays in here, even when it's group. Remember the poster? So you aren't allowed to talk about it outside of this room? That's right. What we learn about each other is meant to help, not hurt, Mrs. Joyce assured him. Cool. I'd like to learn how to make friends, Raymond smiled. Yes, I want to be part of the friendship group. That's great. I'll send a letter home to your parents explaining how the group works and get their permission. Raymond had one more question. The other day, when I was in class, coming in from recess, I saw you go into Charles's classroom. Why were you there? I go into the classroom several times a year. I usually read a story or do an activity with the class. We always have a great time during my classroom visits. Classroom visits are something that will look a little bit different in the online school. I'm so excited for you guys to be able to see the resource folder and see my classroom lessons as videos on Monday afternoons. So please make sure you check the Monday counseling folder every week. Raymond thought about everything Mrs. Joyce had said. He liked talking to the school counselor. Thank you, Mrs. Joyce, for telling me about your job and for inviting me to join the friendship group. I'm glad you're at our school, Raymond. There are lots of grown-ups here to help you, and I am just one of them. As Raymond left her office, Mrs. Joyce gave him a high five. See you next week, she said. Raymond grinned and walked back to his class, already feeling like making friends might not be as hard as he thought it would be. And even if it was, he knew just who could help. Thanks for listening, guys.